Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 31st of July, 2022. Massive. So, this week I have worn all designer fragrances. Nice. I have had some strange weather this week. Last week, at the beginning of last week, it was hotter than the sun. But this week it's been much cooler, but also more overcast and more humid. So it's been difficult to pick what to wear, you know. But I found 7, don't worry. And on Monday, I went with a vintage discontinued designer, which is very sought after. And I am lucky to have a few bottles of this, and it is very Valentino. This is fantastic. Scentland, strangely, did a video of this on the day after I wore it. I think he did the video on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. And I was like, oh, that's strange, because I hadn't necessarily told anyone. It was just one of those little quirks of perfume, I want to say. Maybe not. But this is fantastic. It's got that lavender sandalwood combination that Italian designers were very into. And there's another perfume in this list that has that same combination. It's got that late 90s, early 2000s lavender that a lot of the houses had. What's it like? It's not like today's lavender. That's probably the without doing a review or getting into it or researching it, it's not like today's lavender. It's got a little bit of an like an acidic sort of quality to it. It's different. It's smooth and nice and beautiful. Don't get us wrong, but you'll know what I mean when you smell it. Like I said, I got this from Anouge. I managed to get a couple of backups, and I'm very happy. I love the bottle. The bottle's brilliant. They don't make bottles like this anymore, unfortunately. It's like a little bit brutalistic, isn't it? You know, like brutalist architecture. Very imposing. I really like that, though. And this is from Valentino. So next, on Tuesday, I did the first of hopefully a lot of live streams with Ramsey. And the fragrance I wore that day, because it was warm, but it wasn't too warm, and this is like a warm weather fragrance, but it's got spine, is Cartier's Roadster. Just apropos nothing. My fragrance collection's haunted. But yes, I wore this. Strangely enough, the fragrance that moved there all by itself was another mint fragrance, Herba Fresca, which isn't in this list. Maybe it's given us hints. But yes, this is Roadster mint bergamot. Gives that sort of apple, sort of like soft apple kind of vibe it gives off, and then it's got I think it's got patchouli in the dry down. It's an absolutely fantastic fragrance, this. I absolutely love it. I do consider Cartier a designer house because they don't just make perfumes. Niche house are the ones that just make perfumes, in my opinion. Love the bottle. I think Ramsey wore this the day after. It inspired him to get his bottle out. And there's a good possibility you will see this again. There are only going to be 4 more spring, summer fragrance rotations left after this. Then there'll be one that's like half and half with a crossover. But so I'll have to put all of these to one side. But this is a fragrance that I never tire of wearing. This is like a brilliant. This is what like designer perfume should be like. Different, classy, well made, well performing, easy accessible, good bottle, great bottle actually. That to me is what designer perfume should be. Accessible as well, like should be able to be. Like there's nobody I've ever bumped into that had like a passionate hatred of like Roadster, you know? It's really nice. Anyhow, next we have another Italian designer, and this also has the same sandalwood lavender combination that Very Valentino has. Although the lavender's a bit different in this. It's a little bit more powdery, but a little bit fresher as well. And this is Molto Smolto. If you haven't smelled this, I highly recommend that you do. Bottles are now going like the prices are going through the roof, as is the price of everything, especially vintage and discontinued perfumes. But this is quality. I really like this and Smolto Pour On. This is, as I said, lavender, sandalwood. It's aromatic a little bit. Very easy to wear. You could wear it all year round if you wanted to. I just happen to have put it in the spring and summer collection because I like dividing up my perfumes and stuff, you know. And I really like this. I've got a few backup bottles of this as well. It's so good, the sandalwood in it. I mean, you just don't get this quality of ingredient. It's got a shaving foam kind of vibe, you know. It's got like that barbershop kind of thing. It's fresh and clean, but still, it's got a lot of staying power. It's got a lot going for it. And if you're looking for Italian designers, you couldn't do much better than Smolto, if I'm honest. Anyway, on Thursday I went for something completely different. And the completely different fragrance I went is one of my favourite pickups of the year. And this is Herisse by Hermes, another Renouge special. Love it. I love the bottle as well. The colour of that bottle is absolutely stunning. I'm sure my absolutely heinous my heinous camera work and lighting is not doing it justice whatsoever. Excuse me. I just coughed and yawned. What on earth is happening? Now I'm going to hydrate. Just entertain yourselves whilst I hydrate, and excuse me. So, Herisse, it's an Iris Soliflor. I wonder if it still says, there you go. Can you see that? Soliflor Iris. That's essentially what it is. It's just Iris. Lots of different Iris in different ways. But it's beautiful. This smells so ahead of its time. You know, Iris has become a big thing. I mean, I think this was released in 2001. Olivia Giacobetti did it just before Jean-Claude and Elena became the in-house perfumer. And frankly, if she submitted, is it Olivia Giacobetti a woman? I want to say it is, but if Giacobetti delivered a perfume like this for Hermes, right, I'm surprised they didn't keep them on and just say you should be the in-house perfume. This is absolutely stunning. It really is a fantastic fragrance. The new one smells pretty like it's got like high fidelity, but the performance for me on the new one is absolutely woeful. So it's not ideal. It's not rotations. Reformulations tend to go like that kind of way sometimes. Like they'll keep the smell, but the performance goes. You know, that's like one strand of reformulations, things that we have to watch out for. Anyway, Friday. Friday was quite cool and it rained a lot. And what did I have to do on Friday? Sure, I had to do something. But what was it? Who knows? Anyway, I decided to wear Eau Sauvage. This is the 2018 version. The 2017 version, but mine's a 2018 bottle. I actually prefer this to the original. No, I know that's heresy from someone who is as big on vintage as me and everything I say about vintage perfumes and everything, but I do actually prefer this version. I prefer the Elemi to the Myrrh, and it's a little bit fresher at the top. It's a little bit more citrus at the top, and I like that. The original has more of a powdery kind of like quality on me. That resin doesn't resonate on my skin as much, but I do really like this. I've got a bottle of the other one, but I prefer this, and this is what I wore on Friday. Yesterday, Saturday, I went back to Hermes and wore this Paprika Brazil. Outrageously, I don't necessarily see this as much as like a spicy, fresh sort of fragrance, fresh spicy. I see this more of an iris. I get a lot of iris from this on my skin. I love the paprika note. I love that chili sort of vibe. I like it in Taste of Fragrance by Mugler, Thierry Mugler as it was. I like the whole spicy but smooth sort of thing going on, you know. This is a quality fragrance. It's promptly been discontinued as well, apparently. I heard from someone called Susan Becker, who has like a monthly sort of newsletter that goes out when she goes shopping to France. She'll do some shopping for you as well. And she said that she'd heard this and Brinde Religieuse and another one had been discontinued. I can't remember what the third one was. But I bought this when I went to Manchester and met up with Audrey Jane and Jura Rose in April. So I'm glad to have a bottle of this. I've been procrastinating for too long. But I bought this retail and I am very pleased to have it because it appears to be gone now. Bottles are great again. And last but certainly not least of this all designer week, that's 3 extra sprays. Absolutely unnecessary extra sprays, but there we are. I wore today Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. This is my newest bottle. This is the one before the present formulation. So this bottle, I think, is like a 2013, 2012, maybe even a little bit earlier. But it's old, you know, and you can see how much I've used of it. I believe you can anyway. I know the picture's not great. Can you see it? I don't know. Yeah, you can. You can see the level anyway. Fantastic. Love this. Cedar, oak moss, shaven foam. Brilliant, perfect, absolutely outstanding masculine fragrance. If you want to smell masculine in a vintage way, you can't go wrong with this. This is one of the great fragrances ever made for men. It just shows what happens to designer houses when they've been around long enough, because if you look at the stuff that they produce now, it's not great. It really isn't. Stuff like Phantom and Robot. Is it Phantom and Robot? I don't know. I'm not really, I try, to be honest with you, I just sort of like, I don't really pay much attention to new releases, but this is one of the great men's fragrances of all time. If you like vintage masculines like I do, then you will love this if you haven't already smelled it. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. And that is all for today, friends. I hope you have enjoyed this fragrance rotation video. I will be making more videos and more streams in the week to come. Thanks, everyone. Bye.